Arjun, a young farmer from a humble village, had a dream that was as vast as the fields he tilled every day. He wanted to transform his barren land into a prosperous farm that could feed his village and change his destiny. But despite working tirelessly under the scorching sun, his crops failed year after year. His hands bled from the labor, yet the soil refused to cooperate. He faced floods, droughts, pests, and every imaginable challenge, but still, he never stopped. It was not a lack of effort that held him back, but something much deeper. He was fighting against forces beyond his control. The villagers, once impressed by his passion, started whispering, "He's wasting his time. He's just another dreamer. Nothing grows here." Each passing day, the whispers grew louder. Arjun's heart began to crack under the weight of failure and ridicule. He knew what he wanted, but it seemed the universe was not on his side. He started questioning himself. Should he keep pushing, or was he doomed to fail forever? Could patience really be the answer? The more he struggled, the more it seemed that success was a distant dream, just out of reach. His hope was wearing thin, but one question haunted him. Should I quit? One evening, as Arjun sat in the fields, consumed by frustration and doubt, a figure appeared on the horizon, an old man with a calm presence walking slowly towards him. Arjun had heard of this man, the wise traveler known for his knowledge of life's greatest lessons. His reputation was that of someone who could help even the most lost souls find clarity. "Are you troubled, young one?" the old man asked gently as he approached. Arjun, desperate for guidance, nodded. "I've been working for years, trying to make my dreams come true, but nothing seems to work. I've failed again and again. I'm tired. I don't know what else to do. Please, tell me what I'm missing." The old man sat beside him, his eyes filled with wisdom. "You are missing patience, my friend. It is not in your haste to succeed, but in your ability to wait, to trust the process. Let me tell you a story." The old man's voice was soothing, and his words felt like a balm on Arjun's wounded soul. He leaned in, eager to hear what the man had to say. The old man smiled softly and began. "A long time ago, in a village surrounded by mountains, lived a man named Leo. Leo had a burning desire to become a farmer, but his village was plagued by droughts. The land was dry, cracked, and unforgiving. Every year the crops failed and the villagers were on the brink of starvation. Leo didn't have much, but he had a dream. He decided to plant a single crop, even though the odds were stacked against him. The villagers laughed at him. "You're wasting your time," they said. "This land will never grow anything. Why even try?" But Leo didn't listen to them. He spent days and nights working the soil, planting, watering, and hoping. Every time a storm came, he feared it would wipe away his efforts, but he kept going. The old man continued. Year after year, Leo's crops failed, but he didn't give up. With every failure, he learned something new. He adjusted his methods. He learned to read the skies, to listen to the wind, to understand the soil better. Finally, after many years of relentless patience and hard work, Leo's crops flourished. The villagers who had once mocked him now came to him for advice. Leo had turned failure into his greatest lesson, and in doing so, he turned his life around. Patience, persistence, and unwavering faith in his vision had brought him success. Arjun sat in silence, his mind racing as the old man's story sank deep into his heart. He realized something profound, that success wasn't about immediate results. It was about how long you could endure, how much you could learn from each setback. He had been rushing through his journey, focusing only on the outcome, not realizing that the journey itself was where the power lay. "I see now," Arjun said, his voice barely above a whisper. "I've been so focused on the failures that I couldn't see the lessons they were trying to teach me. I thought that if my crops didn't grow immediately, I was doomed. But Leo, he didn't give up after one failure. He used each setback to grow stronger. He didn't quit when things got tough." The old man nodded, his eyes filled with knowing. "Yes, Arjun, The true power of patience lies in the willingness to continue, even when there is no immediate reward. It's in the trust you place in the process, in understanding that time, when used wisely, will bring its own rewards. The universe doesn't work on our time, it works on its own. From that moment forward, Arjun's mindset shifted. He no longer saw his failures as the end of his journey, but as integral parts of his growth. He spent every day in his fields, but this time with a newfound sense of calm and patience. He no longer rushed through the days, hoping for instant success. Instead, he focused on what each day had to teach him. He adjusted his approach, worked smarter, and waited for the right moment. It wasn't easy. There were days when he still felt like quitting, but each day he reminded himself of Leo's story and the lesson of patience. And slowly, the land began to change. Arjun's crops grew stronger, healthier, and more abundant. He was no longer trying to force success. He was allowing it to come in its own time. His farm began to flourish, and so did he. The villagers who once doubted him now admired him. They saw his success, but they didn't realize that it wasn't the soil that had changed. It was Arjun's mindset. His patience had paid off. Years later, Arjun became a successful farmer, not just in terms of crops, but in life. He had learned that success wasn't about immediate results, but about the journey and the lessons learned along the way. He shared his story with others, reminding them that patience was the key to unlocking their true potential. Success isn't a sprint, he would say. It's a marathon. It's not about how fast you get there, but about how much you learn, how much you grow. And as he spoke, he would lean in and ask, "So, what about you? Are you ready to trust the process? Are you willing to embrace patience and achieve success against all odds?"